Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I have been informed that my videos have been dubbed by YouTube. So they're now available in pretty much any language, I guess. So I will not be recording in English and Spanish any further unless you guys tell me that, Spanish is having an issue, right? But anyway, today I wanted to remind you still that the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus house system. And in today's video, I wanted to discuss the death of Charlie Kirk. He is a conservative political activist who was assassinated September 10th, a few days ago. So I don't know him. I don't know his family. I only know about him through Wikipedia because I read some things. He was very young, 31 years old. Unfortunately, his life was taken out early. And I can only feel for those parents. I know the wife is grieving and the kids are gonna grow up without their dad, but as a parent, oh my God, to lose a child that way, I feel for them and for his whole family, obviously. Now, what I did is I took Charlie's birth date and based on what Wikipedia says about him and the events that took place, I rectified his chart. Now, is it going to be perfect? Maybe not, but I think it's very close to, to describe what his life is all about. So I am going to share the screen, and this is where I get the information on, right? Wikipedia. It says here that he was born October 14th, 1993 in Arlington Heights, Illinois. And he died September 10th, 2025 in Orem, Utah. Causes of death, a gunshot wound. So, occupations, political activist, author, nonprofit executive, media personality, organizer. He organized, organizations that he founded or started: Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action. He's a member of the Republican Party, which is the conservative party here in the US. Has a wife and two kids. So, and Kirk, oh, and this is something, I didn't hear this little blurb, but it says Kirk on the influence of religion on people's behavior. So let me show you the chart that I came up with for Charlie Kirk. And born October 14th, just like it says here, 1993. Arlington Heights. I come up with him being born at 8:04 p.m. And then the transits of the day he died, September 10th, 2025. So first I'm going to be discussing his chart and why I think that this is the correct chart. And then of course, obviously, why he died. So, Mr. Kirk has the sun in Libra at 21 degrees, which is the degree of Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is all about your beliefs, religious beliefs, your philosophy in life. And remember that Sag is the natural ruler of the ninth house. Okay. So he was very philosophical, right? Very religious, 21 degrees. Um, Now, his ascendant, I believe, is Gemini. Gemini at the third degree. And it's the third degree because he talks, right? Like he would talk, he would present. He was, like it said here, he was a media personality. Um, he had a podcast as well. So his midheaven is in Aquarius. Aquarius rules politics in the degree theory because Aquarius is the natural ruler of the 11th house. And it also rules organizations, groups, whether they're social or professional. Um, 9 degrees because he was an author. Um, and he published a lot of stuff, right? And he was also a podcaster. He was on TV. He was very active. So again, a political activist, an author, not for profit, executive, but that's Saturn in the 10th. Media, 9th house, 9 degrees. Um, and media personality because of Gemini, the 3rd degree. And also Sag has to do with the philosophy that he was in his career. He was trying to get the youth of America to be more conservative, to go back to their roots. And he created Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action, 2 organizations. So that's very 11th house. Now, if you read the Wikipedia thing, I just don't want to make this video, an hour's worth of thing, but he started in high school, um, way back when he was 18 years old. Um, he was very active in a lot of things, and this thing goes for somebody so young to have such a large Wikipedia page is incredible, right? At least in my book. So anyway, you guys can go ahead and research on him and see how my rectification of his chart fits or doesn't fit. And I welcome any comments below as well. Now, um, again, Aquarius rules your political affiliation. Saturn at the 23rd degree, so is the degree of Aquarius. He would be of the conservative party. He would create groups. It's retrograde, so he would do it over and over again. He created several groups because of the retrograde. Saturn is retrograde. And of course, Saturn in the 10th, you have a high position, so he was the CEO of his own company. Now, 5th house, your children, shows 2 children, so that checks. 6th house is the house of work. So there he has a stellium of planets, including the North Node at the 3rd degree, right? And then you can see here the 2nd house. Well, before I go into the 6th house, the 2nd house, the way you make money starts in Gemini at 27 degrees to do Gemini things, right? To speak, to write, to do a blog, to do a podcast. So that's how he made his money. And Cancer is also there. So it's of the homeland, right? Because Cancer is your home. And if we're talking about him, he would focus on his homeland or also his home, his family. So, with the sun in the 6th house, the focus is on work. At 21 degrees, about your beliefs, about religion, about the philosophy in life. It's conjunct Jupiter at 24 degrees, which is the degree of Pisces, religion. Because Pisces is a natural ruler of the 12th house. But when you have something, Jupiter in the 6th house, you could come in contact. He would come in contact through his daily work with influential people. Jupiter and Pluto also. Pluto is powerful people. Jupiter is influential, wealthy people. Pluto is uber wealthy, right? Mars. Mars is in Scorpio. So he would put a lot of energy into his work. And 12 degrees is Pisces. So we're talking about religion. We're talking about faith. We're talking about having a lot of faith in your job and putting a lot of energy into it. Now, how did he do his job? Mercurial ways. He would speak, he would write, he would blog, he would do podcasts, he would publish, and homeland. 16 degrees is the degree of Cancer. So that's what he did. And of course he used internet to, Mercury. And Pluto in the sixth at the Pisces degree again, very passionate about his religion, about his beliefs, about his faith. Because he was a very, from what I wrote, he had a very strong religious or not religious faith in God, right? So now, ninth house. Ninth house is the house of foreign travel. It's the house of higher education, universities. So the ruler of his 10th house, the ruler of his midheaven is Uranus. Uranus is in the ninth house. So he would go around and work at universities, right? Neptune, talking about faith, talking about religion. So, but Neptune also rules assassinations. So the ruler of the 10th is conjunct with Neptune to be assassinated. Or it can also be, like I said, you could talk or work in universities, speaking about spirituality, religious themes. All right. Now, what was the trigger on September 10th that caused him to be assassinated? And so this is a chain of events that happened, but the trigger is Mars. Mars, and you can see the transit on September 10th, 2025, which is the day that he passed. Mars is exactly conjunct his sun. Mars was at 21 degrees, 48 minutes. His sun is at 21 degrees, 41 minutes. So this is an exact conjunction by what, 7 minutes off? So Mars was the trigger. So let me walk you on how this chart describes the way he died. Now, eighth house will describe the way you die. So his eighth house starts in Sagittarius. And you can see here, if the second house is at 27 degrees here, his eighth house is also going to be at 27 degrees. So this says that he could die in a Sagittarian way, right? Which means he could, die while traveling abroad, right? Because ninth house is foreign travel. He could die in a higher ed place. At 27 degrees, he could have died in Italy because 27 degrees is a degree of Gemini. And Italy is ruled by Gemini, but he was here in the States. He could die in a church, in a religious place because it's Sagittarius, or he could die at a university. And that's exactly what happened. So he died at the university, Sag, while speaking, 27 degrees, Gemini. Now, where is the ruler of the eighth house? The ruler of the eighth house is in the third house right now. On September 10th, it was on the third house in Cancer, in opposition to the ninth. Now, where is his natal Jupiter, which describes where he would die? At work. So he would die working, right? And the day that he would die is caused by Jupiter in opposition to the ruler of the midheaven, which is also conjunct Neptune. And on top of everything, Mars is trining Pluto. So there was no coming back for him. This was going to be, that's it. There was no saving him. So Mars in exact conjunction with his sun, and it is trining Pluto in the 10th house. The ruler of the 10th in the ninth. So the ruler of the 10th is in the ninth and is conjunct Neptune to be assassinated. Jupiter, the ruler of the 8th, is opposing these two planets. And of course, if you know the degree theory, you know that the 18th degree is a diabolical degree. It is the secret of evil. So this is how I see his chart. And this is, oh, and on top of that, Uranus is on his ascendant, is conjunct his ascendant. So it would happen suddenly, right? Because Uranus has a big part of what happened. It's the ruler of his midheaven. So it was instant, like instant assassination. Unfortunately, I believe I have come up with the correct chart for him. If anybody does know his real time of birth, I welcome the discussion. But this is, I am not a political person whatsoever. So, like the only thing I could say is that the United States has fallen into, unfortunately, what these small countries that are ruled by drug lords, that are ruled by dictators. We have a really divided nation. Just because you have a difference of opinion on a political basis doesn't mean you should kill the other person, right? So, like I said at the beginning of the video, my condolences to his family, to his parents, to his wife, to anybody that knew him, that was friends with him. I hope that this video helps you understand how death can be triggered. Now, this is obviously, death is not a one size fits all, right? It happens in different ways for different people, but this is the way I see it playing out for Mr. Kirk. So anyway, I just wanted to put this out there because I know a lot of people have been affected by his death. Like I said, I'm not a political person. Um, so, for all of you that did follow him and were active in one of his groups, I know you guys are really hurting. But anyway, I just wanted to do this short video and explain to you guys so you could follow the astrology, follow his birth chart, and see how Mars was the trigger of this event, along with Pluto, mind you, because Pluto is up in his 10th house. But anyhow, I hope that this has been helpful as an unfortunate astrology lesson for you guys. If you have found this video helpful, if you have been able to learn and follow through what I am saying, please give the video a thumbs up. Share it with somebody who is learning astrology and might be interested in a video like this. As always, if you would like a natal chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.